Hello and welcome back to Game Brigade. I'm your host, Brian, and on this show we do reviews, previews, playthroughs, and have conversations about our favorite board games. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. Today we want to talk about Kingdom Rush Elemental Uprising. This is a game that I've been looking forward to covering once I heard it was coming to Gamefound, and now that I have a chance to review it, I want to make sure I share my opinions with you guys. If you are new to the show, or if you're new to the series, we will cover generally Kickstarters, but crowdsource funding projects as well, where we discuss the topic in terms of its cost and availability at retail and decide if you should back this game or not. So if you're interested in that, if this is a product that you've been eyeballing or if you've been hearing about it, maybe you've been on Board Game Geek and you've seen people talking about it, this might be for you. So without further ado, let's get on to Gamefound's website. Okay, so here we are at the main page. We are currently at $272,000 backed with 20 days left in the campaign. So congratulations to Lucky Duck for so far a successful and well-run campaign. I still believe, after a few crowdfunding games now on Gamefound, that I really prefer the layout and the structure of Gamefound over Kickstarter. So if you haven't had a chance to check out Gamefound and really dive deep into one of their Kickstarters, I recommend doing it because I really enjoy the layout. Remember, this is an unpaid advertisement, so I'm not being paid to say that. I genuinely, truly believe that Gamefound has a great website. So what is Kingdom Rush Elemental Uprising? Well, this is a polyomino tower defense game, and it's a standalone sequel to the original game, Kingdom Rush Rift in Time. So is it worth buying this game now at Kickstarter, and what elements we're going to be covering that? I have looked up the overall cost of Kingdom Rush Rift in Time right now if you were to buy that at retail to kind of help talk about that cost for us. So overall, we're going to talk about the Kickstarter exclusives. There are going to be exclusives in the sense that they're not going to be sold at retail, but they are going to be available on Lucky Duck's website. So anytime that there is going to be a specific symbol, and I think we could probably go down here to stretch goals. I think they talked about it. I thought I had it. There was a right here. Whenever there's a Lucky Duck Games exclusive, these are going to be available only on Lucky Duck's website or conventions, so not sold at retail. So there are going to be components of this game that are going to be blocked off. So what is exciting about this? Well, they're taking the Kingdom Rush format and they're adding on to it. They're adding a lot more tiles and additional elemental effects for gameplay changing. What I've seen, though, from this is it could potentially add more fiddliness to the game system, based at least on some of the gameplay videos I've seen, some of the reviews I've seen when people talk about this. They're adding a lot of more beeps and bops and additional tiles for you to be aware of. So if you're not mentally keeping track of every game state effect, there are times where this could potentially be a little bit more chaotic to manage. If you are a person who has already played Kingdom Rush, I think this game is going to translate very well to you in terms of understanding the components and understand the gameplay, and I think you could really grasp the new concepts earlier. But if you are a person who's never played this before, I could see this being a little bit more heavier in terms of this play style. Kingdom Rush is still a very good puzzle game. If you're looking for that cooperative or solo puzzle game, I would check out the original one as well. I could see an argument with skipping this one in that regard, though, if you're unsure. They do also include some upgraded components for this. So let's see if we can get down there. So this is where they discuss some of those upgraded tiles, the elemental hazards and whatnot that you'll be experiencing. But we want to talk about the upgraded components, because I think that's where we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this campaign. So we have the retail edition pledge, which is $59. They also have a deluxe edition pledge. We can actually click more info on this and see exactly what they're talking about when you get in the deluxe upgrade. So you'll be getting this game trays box to store all of your components, as well as the token tray and some knights here, miniature knights, as well as sand warriors. So, and what I also thought was interesting was the hero trays. And this is going to be very similar to what I saw done with Dwellings of Elder Vale, where each hero is going to have their own individual hero tray, which makes it so much easier for teardown and setup. I love that mechanic, so thank you for doing that. But very akin to Dwellings of Elder Vale if you're curious in seeing that. So this is the deluxe upgrade box. I think the game trays, personally, me having game trays in several of my games, I love them, and I definitely think they're worth $20 or $30 upgrade for the convenience. If you think about what it would cost for you to get a broken token insert, those sometimes cost $50 to $100. So something like $30 to cover all of your inserts and have everything fit properly, I think is actually probably fine. In the core box, you're going to get all the characters you're going to need, plus their little standees here. The biggest thing I noticed that does not come included with the core box are the 3D towers. So that's something that you're going to have to take a look at later if you're wanting to make this look like some of the reviewers' copies do with their standard larger towers. You're also going to notice there's this second box kind of hidden here in the back. They're doing something very similar to what I've seen companies like Come On Games do, where they're going to have a separate box that's going to be stretch goals, entirely stretch goal material. So this box is going to be for Kickstarter backers or Gamefound backers, which is going to include all of those extra bits. So here I think is interesting. Let's talk about this. The retail edition pledge, $59, so $60 is what they're calling this, as well as these Kickstarter Gamefound exclusives, the exclusives for this product. So not only are you going to get this base game, but you're going to get this. Now let's take a look over here at Amazon, where I want to make sure you can see it. This is Kingdom Rush Rift in Time, currently being sold for $80 on retail. So that is the price right now that we are seeing. So you can kind of take that and say, okay, I can get it right now for $80 on retail with free shipping, or I'd be looking at $60, but then I'm going to have to pay for shipping. But I get Kickstarter, Gamefound exclusives. It's very hard to not say Kickstarter exclusives when you're programmed to pretty much say that. So I apologize for saying that over and over. So I definitely don't necessarily think that this is a bad price. I do think it's actually very close. You could make an argument that you're willing to wait till retail, potentially get this cheaper at retail, but it could potentially be more expensive. And that's why I want to make sure people are aware of that. And that's why I brought up the Amazon price, because there is an opportunity that this could be more expensive than $60. But you're also not being able to get some of these additional items that you would normally get at retail. You can't get because they are locked to the pledge manager. So what am I talking about? Well, several of these, like the Spider Goddess expansion, comes with some of any unlocked specials that were unlocked in previous Kickstarters. You also can get a storage solution upgrade for the Rift in Time. So if you already own the base set, you can actually get all of your stuff converted to match what we're seeing here with the new set. So I think there's a lot of benefits here looking at the total cost. You can also recraft and deluxe upgrade your Rift in Time, which is great. So you could take this and upgrade it to match your current pledge. So if you're looking to get it deluxe now for Elements in Time or Elements, you could then upgrade your Rift in Time to match. So you'll be getting those game trays, inserts, as well as matching for these hero reference cards. I think that is actually really cool. And the fact that they're doing this makes me more excited to be able to potentially back this product. You can also get the original Kingdom Rush here, the base game, at $60. So again, that's a little bit cheaper than the retail cost, but you have to understand you are going to be tacking on shipping with this. And the larger products we have, generally the more products you add into the pledge manager, the more expensive your shipping can get. It could be up to $35 to $50 total, depending on how many things you totally add. So I think in terms of pledge manager, we're not going to dive too much in that. We are going to jump down here to shipping, though, because I think this is important to take a look at. So they are going to be doing split wave shipping and single wave shipping. So split wave shipping usually means if they have the base game ready to go, they'll ship that out. But if there's any stretch goals or additional content, they'll ship those out later. Or single wave, which is generally less expensive, they will wait till all their components are completed and they'll just ship you a final game, depending on your taste. So my personal opinion here is different than I think what I would say if I was a normal backer. So as a content creator, it's hard for us to do single wave because we need to get the product on the board, we need to play it, you got to get reviews. So split wave is important for content creators. But myself, I also hate that because I don't like getting a game half completed of what I pledged and then later get the rest of the components that I wanted for this game to play it. So generally for me, I like single wave shipping because I want everything ready to go and done at one time. Saves me money on shipping too, so that I can spend that money somewhere else. But I can see people who would rather get something 6 months earlier and then later add in more components to their game. Some people do enjoy that because it's like the whole expansion idea. They don't like playing with expansion, so they want to play with the base game first before they add anything. I get that. Personally, I would single wave. As a content creator, I'm almost always kind of stuck into doing the split wave. But here you can see the overall costs. Remember, as I said, between $35 and $50, that's where this cost is coming in here, depending on what you decide to go with. That's why it's such a wide range between $10 and $55. It's, again, how much are you adding? How much deluxe components? How many miniatures? How much weight are you including in that total cost? So that is the shipping. We're going to go back to me and finalize our discussion. So I think this game probably will be a safe back for you if you were looking for a back and you want to make sure that you are going to be making your money back or potentially not losing any money. I think this is going to be riding that fine line. But the deluxe components are going to help this a lot. The retail version of Kingdom Rush, as we saw, is $80. That's non-deluxified, no deluxe components. So if we're looking at the potential deluxe components about that same price through the Kickstarter, you just have to include shipping in that. I do think that you could see a return on that investment. Overall, do I think this game looks enjoyable? I'm not a big puzzle player. I'm not a big polyomino player in terms of my personal tastes. I'm actually more drawn into the game trays experience, and I'm like, that's not a reason to back a game. So, and I tell you guys, even though I'm a content creator, we think weird stuff in terms of what we want to back sometimes. I've also seen in reviews that the theme and the overall thematic feel of this game is not as well translated as it's more just truly a good puzzle game. And I really appreciate that it has a very solid solo experience. But because of these things, personally for me, I don't think I would be backing this game right now, but I don't think it's a bad back. So I want to make sure I shared that opinion with you guys, let you guys know my thoughts. If you are still here and you're interested in the giveaway for Oathsworn, we are going to have a hashtag down there at the bottom. We're going to do hashtag elemental, and let me know what you guys think of this Gamefound crowdsource. I really wish we could say something different. This Gamefound instead of Kickstarter. Let me know what you guys think. Are you going to be backing this? Is there anything that you wish you saw, or is there anything that I may have missed? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, I hope you guys have a great time, and I'll talk to you very soon.